Hello, everybody. Um, so last episode, I believe it was, I talked about how we had that shitty experience with the over at the doctor's with my wife getting her blood taken. So yesterday is when we had the appointment to go to the lab to get it taken to make up for it not being taken last week. Um, and I after I recorded the episode talking about that, a little while later, Alicia gets home from work, and then I don't know, like I couldn't let it go. And so I was like telling her how I talked about it on here, hoping to like work through it in some way that it would help me. And then as I was like talking about it, um, I felt like you ever get that shuddering or shivering, whatever you call it. It's as if you're like, like when you shiver, like when you're cold, but like it's actually a trauma response. And so that was a weird thing to experience. I've experienced it before, but um, it was just very strange because it wasn't even really like my experience. It didn't happen to me, but I think like the fact that we were made to feel like we were the problems, and it was because of like my wife's phobia that like none of that could get done. I had an issue with that because that's how I have been made to feel my entire life, like right up until I found out about the tism. I had always felt like I am a problem. And then you learn about the tism, and then you have this whole new lens, and you're like, oh my God, I was never the fucking problem. It was everybody else. So, anyways, um, we go to the lab yesterday. Now, last week, I talked about we were there for too fucking long because it was way past our appointment time, and then the blood drawing was like took too long, like longer than it should have. So yesterday she goes in there. I went in there with her. Some lady comes in. Alicia's like, I have to lay back and sometimes like last week didn't go too well for me. And the lady was like, oh, of course, no problem. And we were in and out in 5 minutes. And I was like bracing myself for a just in case asshole, like what are the chances it could happen twice in a row? You never know. So like I went in there like ready for anything, like go ahead, fuck with my wife. I fucking dare you. And so when everything was fine and we were getting up to go, we were so appreciative to that lady. Um, well, you know what is sad is whenever you say, like in my experience, I should say, whenever I go to a place of business or I have an interaction with somebody like a nurse or anybody, and they made me feel like good, like they treated me like a human, like they were kind. I make sure that like I ask like where can I leave a comment or thank you la la la. So basically I was like, is there like anywhere we can like leave a comment? Or she looked at me like I was crazy. She's like, you want to leave a comment? I was like, a positive one, of course. Um because you don't know how bad it was for us last week. Like it was like a bad experience, very bad. And like you just helped correct that a little bit. So we just want to kind of put in a good word for you. You know, as far as that can possibly go, I don't know, but like you deserve to be like um, you know, I don't think people should put in comments if they're just negative. That's why nobody wants to do that anymore. So basically what I'm saying is like this lady felt so appreciative. She's like, "Oh my God, you just made my day." And then I felt bad and I was like, "Why does somebody have to feel like this because somebody is just being kind to them? And why can't the world just be kind? Why can't people be more kind than not?" That it's such a surprise when a patient comes in and displays like appreciation for something that everybody's looking around like, what? Like somebody actually did their job properly? Like, what? There was no comment cards. They don't even have anything on their website. The only way to talk about like giving feedback is by calling like a certain somebody. And I was like, that's weird to me. that, like, have you gotten that much shit that, like, you don't want? I don't know. I just think it's weird that, like, you can't, like, leave comments for workers anymore. So, like, what? People just show up and do their job, and then, like, if somebody says something nice about them, they may never hear it, which it happens, but shouldn't you be able to hear it sometimes? So, Alicia went home last night and she found the number, and then today when she was at work, she called the person and told them about this lady that was like a really good blood drawer and that we really appreciated like how professional and how kind she was. I don't know. I just and the fact that I'm on here even having to like say how weird it is that like places just don't, unless you go and you leave like a fucking Yelp review or something, like, is it that there are that many rude ass people that have that many supposedly bad experiences with businesses that they just don't allow anybody to leave any comments? Like, you remember back in the day, there used to be like, and maybe there still are, there just aren't around where I live, but there used to be like comment cards up at like desks, like at the front desk of a lobby or something. Like, you take the card, how was your experience today on a scale of 1 to 10? Where the fuck are those? Um, I don't know. I just thought that was sad. And I think that people need to be told more often that you made somebody's day a little bit better because you were kind and you were just a nice person. Like, why is it that is it so hard to just be like that? Anyways, um, but yeah, like if you like try it sometime. Like if you have a good experience and you're like, is there a place I can leave a comment or can I talk with like your supervisor? Watch their face immediately convey concern. Like, oh no, what did I do wrong? That's not how things should be. Anyways, I'll move on from that. Speaking of negative shit, I just have to get this out. I just have to say it because where's it going to go? It can't even go to my wife. So, this is about her sister. I was going to say the name. Have I said the name before? I don't know. I'll just say her sister and I'll call her Sally because I call everybody Sally if I don't say the name, I guess. Sally or Billy Bob, depending. But, anyways, so the last few nights, the girls have been calling me, and the phone calls are turning into like 2 hours at a time. Um, which I'm just saying it like that because that's a long time to talk on a phone. And when they're calling me, it's when she goes to bed, and she knows that they talk to me. Like the older one, it's okay that she calls me later. The younger one, who's going to be 13 in a few days, she's not really supposed to, but she did it anyways. And basically, the conversations are about them feeling trapped in their home and like how there's just nothing for them to do there. And they feel ignored and overlooked and neglected. And nobody cares about how they're feeling and doing. Remember back when you were a kid? And I mean, I don't know, everybody's upbringings were different, but I've talked on here several times about this weird situation that I feel like I'm in where I'm trying to be a positive role model for them, even though I never thought that I would have to be a positive role model for anybody because of how much I seclude myself from people. But anyways, um they call because they just want somebody to listen, and because like I validate, I just validate them. I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Like, I want to hear about it. Like, just the stuff that their mom doesn't know how to do. She doesn't know how to deal with feelings. She doesn't know, she doesn't have the skills, basically. And so I'm trying to teach the girls like healthier ways to communicate. And then it's like, I have thoughts of like, who am I to do that? They're not my kids. Am I stepping all over her parents' toe? Like, I don't know. It's a weird situation. It's also weird because I've noticed that the older that the girls have gotten, the more I'm disliking their mom. Because when you get older, your brain gets bigger, you start using your mouth more, you start asking questions like, why are things like this? Why did that happen? Why were you mean for no reason? And then all of a sudden, just dynamics change. And um, it's not even like I feel like the girls are exaggerating because I've known their mother for years. I've been to the home. I know what everything's like. They're not exaggerating. And so Alicia gets home from work tonight, and I just told her about the call that I had with Madeline last night, and she ended up getting caught by her mom, and her mom knew she was talking with me. And so like I don't know, like I think this is just my trauma shit maybe, but like it's almost as if I felt like I did something wrong. Like, oh no, I'm in trouble. And like I feel like it's only going to be a matter of how many more times that their mom finds out that these girls keep talking to me before she starts getting like irritated about it, because they talk about her. How are you not going to figure that out at some point, you know? Um and so then like a little while ago, I was out there playing with the cats, like one of the little toys on a stick, and Alicia was talking to Shell on speaker, so I was listening. Shell knows it. Oh, I said her name. Uh-oh. Whoops. Oh, there's a lot of people with that name. I'll just go back to Sally. Um, I've probably said her name before, but I don't mean to. But anyways, I'll just say Sally. Nobody knows about this podcast in that family, by the way. I mean, they know of it, but they don't know what podcasts are. Can you believe it? Anyways, she's talking to her sister on speakerphone, and her sister knows that, like, I listen. I was there. I was chiming in every so often. Well, I started having some issues when she was talking some crap about her kid, and I felt myself getting like pretty fucking pissed. I didn't say anything. And then the kid that she was talking about, she turned right around and said something like nice about her. Like, oh, I can't believe Madeline did this. Like, wow. Like, how is this the kid that I raised that she's okay with da 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 da? Um, and I'm over there like raising my hand silently, like, it's because of me, you fucking bitch. It's because of me, because I'm trying to help them deal with their fucking feelings. And you're not. And plus, they're afraid of you. They're afraid. They don't want to like make you upset. Oh my God. And so, like, I feel myself getting more and more disgusted as I'm listening to her. And then, and this probably sounds like, and I probably, I don't, I didn't mean to be an asshole, but then, like, they have a dog that is so old and getting ready to die. And it's like, her sister's obviously upset. That dog is the only pet really that the kids have ever known. And so hear Sally start crying, and I just felt disgusted. And then I was like disgusted with my disgust. I'm like, there's a human being crying, and she's like legitimately upset and sad that she's about to lose her dog because he's old and he's dying. And I can't even be bothered to feel an ounce of empathy for her because of how livid I feel. And so this is just feels so fucked up because I know that like I know that the kid's mother is not my mother. I know that good old Sally lets her kids do things that my mother never let me do. Like Bella has colored pictures taped up all over her walls. You can't even see the wall. It's just pictures taped, and she's working on her ceiling next. And my mother never let me do that shit. So, yeah, there's definitely good stuff that like they get to do that, I wished I got to. So it's not like it's all bad. It's not like it's all trauma and terror over there. But oh, I don't know how to deal with this. And I feel like it's getting to where I'm going to have to stop relying on my wife, Alicia, so much for like, like she goes down and she gets the girls when it's whoever's time it is for a visit, and she goes and she drops them back off, and like she takes them here and takes them there, and I'm the aunt that does like the talking, and the stuff that we do like hanging out at home. And I think I'm gonna have to step up and like do more. And I want to, and I'm going to, but it makes me feel anxious, which means I'm gonna have to drive down there, which I've never driven all the way down there. It's like over an hour, and it's like in bumfuck nowhere. And I'm not good with directions, and I'm gonna have to do that, which whatever. But then I'm gonna have to deal with her sister, my wife's sister, when I'm picking up one of the girls. And like, I don't know, I'm probably overthinking it, but like I just feel this like overwhelming disgust for Sally. And I don't know what to do with it. And I don't know how to quite separate what's going on with her and like our nieces with like what happened to me and my mom, you know? Anyways, and what else is going on? Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap, like, that's all I wanted to say about that. I don't know what to do with these feelings, and I'm not in therapy anymore. Maybe I should go back, but to a different therapist. Anyways, um, so apparently we're interviewing for a new surgeon general in this country, and the nominee looks like a fucking wackadoodle like the rest of them. And like 5 minutes before I turned that off to get on here to record, that bitch actually said that the autism crisis is increasing and we should all be concerned. What a dumb fucking bitch. Like, oh, I need to stop because I'm gonna work myself into a rage. Autism is not a goddamn crisis. You know? Like, if you're autistic, you're fucking lucky. Is what is what That's what I think. Like, thank fucking all the gods that I am autistic. I would never want to not be autistic because my brain is wonderful, even though it attacks me sometimes. It's wonderful. Like the way that I think and like I don't know, I love being autistic. I love everything about it except for those fucking meltdowns, but whatever. And the, overthinking and the ruminating. But I don't know, like it's not a goddamn crisis. When are people gonna stop saying this shit? And the thing that also irritates me is the pushback that they get in these stupid little Senate hearings. Um, da 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 da, like this doesn't cause autism, and like the pushback isn't even that. It's just stupid questions that don't even like frame autism accurately. Like it's autism. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I get so worked up over this bullshit. It's just an operating system. It's not a big issue, you know? There are people who struggle and they're not autistic. Like, this is the craziest shit to me that this is still an issue in 2026. It is so crazy that we live in this country and actually this world because there's a huge sex ring going on that is involving multiple people from multiple countries. Gross, gross, gross. And we're just having to sit here and watch this all play out. What fucking like alternate reality are we in? Is there like an autistic utopia I can just slide myself right into? And so I'm going to end this on a positive note, which is today is Wednesday. And on Friday, Alicia is going to be living next door for 10 days, which means I get the house all to myself. And I get to make as much noise as I want at all hours of the day or night because she's not going to be sleeping or whatever. And I'm going to have a good time for the first 4 days, and then I'm going to start missing my wife. So I'm looking forward to it. But Janice and Nadine are going to Texas because they've decided that finally they're getting Maddie a sister. They've had that dog for 4 years, and me and Alicia have been like, you need to get her a friend. She's bored. She needs a friend. She needs a friend. And they're finally doing it. And so they're going to go to Texas and they're going to go get the dog and come back. And I'm going to have a great time this weekend. Having a party with me and the cats. So that's all I got to say. I hope that there was something that was relatable in this here episode. And thank you much for listening. And if you're not on Substack, go on over and look for me. Everything that I am is called Adulthood with a Chance of Autism. That is like the blanket label for all of my existence on the internet. So please come find me so that. Oh, what's that? Oh, fuck, that's my wife texting me. Oh, that sounded mean. I didn't mean to say it like that. I don't like it being interrupted. I lost my thought. Where did it go? Oh, Substack. So like if you want to go over there, there's a whole bunch of like cool autistic people over there. I consider myself kind of to be one of them. Um, I have yeah, am I in the mood to like advertise for myself? No, my brain's not working. Okay, there's some links and stuff wherever the description for this is. So thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.